Hey everybody, a quick episode of TJ's Garage. I found something kind of cool today that I thought I'd share with you. We have here, if you want to look, this is a kind of an aftermarket extended shaft, like brush trimmer, okay? The guy brought it to me and said that, you know, every time he wiggled the plug, he'd lose power. So we took everything apart, and I traced the wires down here. And of course, when I was wiggling it, it was getting power. And you could use a multimeter for this to check the power, but what I did was I just made a kind of a jumper light here. So what I did was plugged it in here to these prongs, and I messed around with the wires, kept shaking them, and when the light would come on, I'd figure out where my wires were, you know, still good. And I disconnected the wires and I spliced them in. I made them shorter because I figured, you know, I found the loose portion inside the wire, plugged everything back in, still didn't work. So I couldn't figure it out, and I cut the wire down a little further on the white side. And if you look here, this fell out, okay? Somehow inside this wire, all the way back here, the white wire had burnt in half. So that's why I was getting intermittent power. Okay, so I kept shaking it, and the light kept lighting up, couldn't figure it out, kept pulling and pushing. I figured once I spliced it down, I'd get a viable piece of wire. Well, that didn't happen. So then I decided to solder it, and when I pulled on the soldered piece, it fell right out of the wire. So if you're getting intermittent power, usually it's from the portion of the plug into the housing. Just don't be surprised if you find a wire like this burnt off in some of these aftermarket tools. You probably won't get that on a DeWalt, but I'm really not sure what brand this is. So if you're getting intermittent power, there's a 90% chance that somewhere inside this jacket, you're gonna have a broken wire. So that's why you're getting intermittent power. So if you're jiggling it, any kind of power tool, that's what's happening. That's a good start right there. Now I've had plugs go bad. I made a video on a Pit Boss where the actual plug itself had lost continuity inside the plug, which was very strange. But a cool way to do it if you don't have a voltage tester is just make a light switch. Every time that light would come on, I'd know how far I could go to figure out how good the wire was if it was still intact. I would just plug black to black, white to blue, hit the trigger right here, and I would know exactly how far down to go to where my white wire or my black wire was not connected. But some of these electrical ones, a lot of people just toss them in the garbage, and this just happened to be an easy one because it was at the trigger connection. So it's something to think about. Like I said, don't be surprised if you find something like that inside your plug. That's about it. I just thought I'd share that with you. Thanks.